Oh, did it hurt your feelings that I said you couldn't be a pastor based on your genitalia? Hi, my name is Maddie Maybono. I'm a Bible scholar specializing in gender and sexuality, and I am a master at rage bait, apparently. Really, it's just the fact that my embodied experience as a progressive queer Bible scholar is just walking rage bait for people who have very tiny definitions of what it means to be Christ-like and what it means to read and interpret the Bible well. When I was in seminary a couple of years ago, I was talking to a peer, a fellow classmate, and he asked me, "Oh, you're visiting home," which at that time was Arkansas, belt buckle of the Bible Belt. And he asked if I would be preaching anywhere at home when I went to visit. And I told him that no, actually it's quite hard to find preaching gigs in Arkansas because of the raging misogyny and complementarianism. And he looked at me and he said, well, at least it's just their theological position. It's nothing to take personally, which I found really interesting because when I'm disqualified from my ministry because of my genitalia, I feel like that's as personal as it gets. I'm sorry if it offends you that I actually do take that quite personally. I take it personally that I grew up in a church where I never saw someone who looks like me behind the pulpit. I take it personally that you think that my daughter should be raised in a world where she thinks that there are certain limitations to her call from God based on her embodied experience. I take that very personally. The funny thing is, I know so many women who are often the most educated person in the room, and yet they are forced to sit in the back pew because their tits might be too much of a distraction from the Holy Spirit. What's even crazier is it is a misreading, a mistranslation, a misinterpretation of the Bible. And I can tell you that because I'm a Bible scholar who also happens to have tits. So yeah, I'm sorry that I made you angry with that video, but have you ever considered the fact that we, women who are called by God to read and interpret and teach the Bible, are also a little bit angry too? Because that's just not biblical, sis.